What if a single bombing could set off a chain of events that could potentially reshape the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East? A chain reaction of this magnitude might seem far-fetched, but recent events have brought us closer to this reality than we'd like to admit. The epicenter of this escalation is a bombing that shook the Iranian embassy in Syria. Iran has pointed fingers towards Israel, accusing them of orchestrating this attack. The fallout? The unfortunate demise of several high-ranking officials, including key figures from the IRGC, Iran's elite Revolutionary Guard. In response, Iran has vowed to retaliate with Hezbollah, the Lebanese militant group, echoing Iran's sentiments and threatening punishment. The US, on the other hand, holds the belief that Israel is the perpetrator behind the airstrike. But Iran is not satisfied with this stance. They counterclaim that the US is accountable for supporting Israel, thereby indirectly contributing to the escalation of tensions. This convoluted blame game has resulted in a tense standoff, with Iran's proxies launching attacks on Israel and its allies, leading to a series of retaliatory strikes. The situation is so volatile that even the United Nations has called for restraint, fearing the onset of a broader conflict with devastating consequences. As tensions rise, the fear of a broader conflict looms large. The question is, how did we get here? Yet, to understand the present, we must delve into the past. The path to this escalation has been a long one. Our journey begins with a series of incidents that have marred the Middle East. Over the years, Iran's proxies have launched numerous attacks on Israel and its allies. This has led to a cycle of retaliatory strikes, creating an atmosphere of perpetual tension. The situation has been punctuated by a series of significant incidents. For instance, in 2021, US President Joe Biden ordered retaliatory air raids against Iran-backed armed groups in Iraq and Syria. These strikes were a response to drone attacks on US personnel and facilities. This move was met with threats of retaliation from Iran and aligned armed groups, further escalating the tensions. But this conflict isn't just regional, it has global implications too. To understand this, we need to look at Russia's role in similar conflicts. In 2016, Russia and its allies bombed Al-Sakur Hospital in Aleppo, Syria. This was followed by a similar tactic in Ukraine in 2022, when a maternity hospital in Mariupol was bombed by Russian warplanes. These actions bear a striking resemblance to the recent bombing of Iran's embassy complex in Syria, allegedly by Israel. The Russian playbook, it seems, includes bombing civilian infrastructure, spreading disinformation, and accusing the other side of staging attacks. This strategy, while devastating, has been effective in creating chaos and confusion. It not only exacerbates the conflict but also makes it harder for the international community to respond effectively. In the case of Syria, Russia's intervention escalated the conflict into a proxy war involving regional and world powers. The Syrian conflict, which began in 2011, saw Russia supporting Assad's regime, leading to accusations of war crimes. This pattern of behavior raises concerns about Russia's role in the ongoing tensions between Iran and Israel. So, what we see is a complex web of conflicts, each influencing the other. The ongoing tensions between Iran and Israel, the US's involvement in the region, and Russia's track record of escalating conflicts all contribute to a volatile situation. These events have stirred the pot, leading us to the current crisis. But what happens next? In the aftermath of the bombing, the Middle East stands on the brink of a possible wider conflict. The reverberations of the attack are already being felt across the region, stoking fears of a broader conflict. Iran, accusing Israel of the airstrike, has pledged retaliation, adding fuel to an already volatile situation. This retaliation, experts predict, could come in many forms, but the role of Hezbollah, an Iran-backed militia, is particularly concerning. Hezbollah, a powerful player in the region, has also threatened punishment and is seen as a potential tool in Iran's retaliatory arsenal. This raises fears of further escalation, as any action by Hezbollah could provoke a counter-response, leading to a dangerous tit-for-tat cycle of violence. It is a delicate dance of power and retribution, a dance that, if not carefully managed, could spiral out of control. Meanwhile, the UN has called for restraint, urging all parties involved to avoid actions that could ignite a wider conflict. However, their calls are but whispers in the face of the brewing storm. The international community watches anxiously as tensions rise, hoping that diplomacy can prevail over the drums of war. The potential consequences of a wider conflict are devastating. The region, already ravaged by years of conflict, could be plunged into a further state of chaos and instability. The human cost would be immense, with countless lives potentially lost or displaced. The economic fallout would also be substantial, with the potential to disrupt global oil markets and plunge the region into a deeper economic crisis. In addition, the bombing has strained already tense relations between Iran and the US, with Iran holding the US accountable for supporting Israel. This could potentially lead to a further escalation in tensions between the two nations, adding another layer of complexity to an already convoluted situation. With the potential for a wider conflict on the horizon, the stakes are high. It's a delicate balance of power that could tip at any moment. As we navigate these uncertain waters, the world watches, hopes, and waits for a peaceful resolution. In a region where tensions are always high, the bombing of the Iranian embassy in Syria has added fuel to the fire. The airstrike, allegedly carried out by Israel, resulted in the tragic loss of at least 7 officials, including high-ranking IRGC commanders. This incident has escalated tensions in the Middle East, and retaliatory strikes have already been launched by Iran's proxies against Israel and its allies. Moving back, we saw a similar playbook used by Russia in Syria and Ukraine, where civilian infrastructures were targeted, leading to international outcry and accusations of war crimes. The bombing of the Iranian embassy mirrors these tactics, raising concerns of a broader conflict. As we grapple with the aftermath, we must remember the call for restraint by the United Nations. The potential for this incident to spiral into a wider conflict is real, with devastating consequences. Hezbollah's potential involvement as a tool for Iran's response further exacerbates these fears. As we watch these events unfold, one thing is clear: the ripple effects of this bombing could be felt far and wide, potentially reshaping the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East. Thank you for taking the time to educate yourself on the escalating tensions in the Middle East through this video. We hope this information has provided you with a better understanding of the complex dynamics at play in this volatile region. If you found this content valuable, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you'll receive more insights into important global events and stay updated on the latest developments. You can also share this video with others to help spread awareness about these critical issues. Knowledge is power, and the more we understand about these situations, the better equipped we are to engage in meaningful dialogues and potentially contribute to solutions. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and above all, stay safe. Remember, your awareness can make a difference. Thank you for being a part of our informed viewer community.